of people today are looking to the Middle East. They say, oh, the Jewish temple has to be rebuilt. But every other place that the Apostle Paul uses that expression, temple of God, he's referring to the Christian church. For example, Ephesians 2, verses 19 to 21. He speaks of the Ephesians as being the temple of God. We read from 1 Corinthians chapter 6 where it says that we are the temple. 2 Corinthians chapter 3 says that the church of Corinth is the temple. In other words, the temple is not that temple in the Middle East, because Jesus says, your house is left unto you desolate. The temple is the church. So let me ask you, where was the apostasy going to arise? It was going to arise where? In the church. And the book of Revelation describes this end-time apostasy of the Christian church. I want you to notice Revelation chapter 17. We're going to see the characteristics here. You're going to now see some similarities with what we studied from Israel in the Old Testament. Revelation chapter 17, verse 1. Then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and talked with me, saying, come, I will show you the judgment of the great what? Of the great harlot who sits on many waters. Oh, that great harlot must be Iraq. In the light of what we studied from the history of Israel, would this be some pagan nation, or would this be those who profess to be God's people? It must be those who profess to be God's people, because it speaks of a great harlot. And by the way, let me tell you something. I'm not going to identify who the great harlot is today. But by the characteristics, you're going to know who it is. And later on in this series, we are going to study a little bit more and identify what this power is. Now notice who this harlot is. Chapter 17 and verse 5 of Revelation. And on her forehead a name was written. Mystery. What is the name of this harlot? Mystery. Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and of the abominations of the earth. What is the name of this harlot? Her name is what? Her name is Mystery. Babylon, the what? The Great. Does this have any relationship with the second angel's message? The second angel's message says, Babylon is fallen, that great city. Here, it says that this harlot's name is what? Babylon. By the way, we're told also in Revelation 17, verse 1, that she sits upon many waters. What does the act of sitting mean? The act of sitting means that she rules. Notice, chapter 17 and verse 1. Then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and talked with me, saying to me, come, I will show you the judgment of the great harlot who sits, where? On many waters. Now, sitting on many waters would mean that she rules over the waters. But what do the waters represent? Notice Revelation 17 and verse 15. Revelation chapter 17 and verse 15. It says, then he said to me, the waters which you saw where the harlot sits are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. Let me ask you, is she ruling basically globally? Yes. Revelation 13 says that the whole world wondered after the what? The beast, who is the same as the harlot, we're going to notice.